what's up, guys? This is Shop Master. I'm here with Kolbe Launchbaugh. I forgot your title again.
It's creative director.
Mad scientist of CFM right now. So you're not the mad scientist?
Sure, why not?
He is the mastermind behind CFM right now. So I want to ask you about CFM. I'm a big CFM guy, hence the CFM movement.
I have a shirt just like that.
You have a shirt just like that?
I do.
Figures. All right, so how big I want to talk to you about community feedback.
Okay.
Because I feel that you guys are very into community feedback, but I want you to tell the people how much community feedback drives what you guys do.
Sure. It's not the only thing we use. We use a lot of different types of feedback, as well as sort of goals we have for the mode and goals we have for the game in general. But we listen to you guys, the game changers. We listen to and read Operation Sports and Reddit and all kinds of different websites. And in addition to all those things, we actually have a consumer insights group that reaches out to people who buy Madden, who play Madden, and profess to be, kind of hardcore with Madden, but they're really the kind of the more casual, the more common player who does buy the game every year, probably plays it 20, 30, 40 times, but nowhere near to the depth that you guys play. We reach out to those guys and survey them and ask them questions as well. So we take all of those different types of feedback into consideration when we go to build our game.
Okay. So you redid scouting. I want to talk about scouting.
Okay.
There's a lot of people out there who feel like it might be too easy to scout.
Okay.
What do you say to those people?
You're wrong.
You're wrong.
So while it may look easier, the thing is everybody's going to scout everybody's going to have the same base level of information. So that already evens the playing field. So though the AI teams are going to make better decisions, other humans are going to make better decisions. And if you're not diligent, if you don't look for the right positions, you're going to be guessing and pulling picks in the dark. We may be a little bit lenient on the amount of scouting points we give you. We can change that. We can tune that. But what's interesting is the different types of storylines and emotions that develop when you're drafting players like this. You feel like you found your guy. You can't just wait to the end of the year. You have to scout him all year long, or not all year long. You have to scout throughout the year for all your players. So you can fully scout one player in that 1 week. But the idea that that position, maybe the position of need may change throughout the year. You can't just save up all your scouting points for the end of the year like you could before. That in and of itself changes the difficulty of scouting. So if you think it's easier, I'd like you to try it. I'd like you to try it in an online franchise with a bunch of other guys who think it's easier and see what kind of picks you guys get.
All right, another area of concern initially from the blog that you guys have put out is the dynamic drive goals.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't really understand what they're about. They feel like it's going to take over the game and that people are going to just look at the drive goals and say, okay, here's an easy way for me to get my guys boosted up XP-wise and confidence-wise. Can you talk about the balance you've done with the dynamic drive goals along with the confidence and XP so it doesn't seem like it's...
That's a loaded question.
It is a loaded question, but that's what we do here. We give loaded questions. We ask loaded questions.
Let me do my best to answer that for you. Okay. Let's start with just the dynamic drive goals. So let's forget about for just a minute the weekly goals, the season goals, and the milestone goals. We're only talking about dynamic drive goals in the scope of a single game. So these drive goals, like I said, they're dynamic. They show up almost every drive. You're going to get one. Some of them affect the whole team. Some of them affect single player. They don't give out lots of experience. They're giving 25 to 100. I think the biggest one might be 150, but they're not a ton. And they also allow you to increase in confidence. So it's kind of the reason it's a loaded question is this is to solve another problem that the community really complained about, and it was very true. Confidence was not well tuned last year. So one of the other ways to tune confidence is to give you more opportunities to earn confidence. So that's one of the other things that drive goals will do. The beauty of drive goals is you can completely ignore them and still love and enjoy the game the same way you have in the past. What they do is they're that icing on the cake. I know I only need a little bit more XP for my wide receiver or whatever in addition to his weekly goals. If I get a drive goal or two with him, I have enough to go get my next package of whatever attribute you're chasing. So it might be a reason for you to change the way you're playing that one game on that one instance and play a little bit differently. Now imagine you're in a situation where there's an online head-to-head CFM game. You're getting a defensive drive goal. I'm getting an offensive drive goal. They may be at odds. My goal may be to throw a touchdown to a specific receiver, or just to punch it in on the ground, or whatever my goal might be. You might have an opposing goal to not allow me to score. Like there's a goal called bend don't break.
Right.
And the goal there is you can allow him to move the ball, you can allow him to kick a field goal, but don't allow him to score. So we have opposing goals. We're going to be fighting the same battle, but maybe in a different way. So some of these things make for interesting gameplay elements. And imagine if you're trying to eke that last little bit of confidence or XP out for your player, and you have a goal that's supposed to shut down, don't allow more than 20 passing yards this drive, and I'm trying to complete 3 passes to a specific player. That's going to be really tough for me. So there's a lot of different ways to play this game. None of them are mandatory, and it's all, at the end of the day, this is a game. It's supposed to be fun. And achieving goals, earning XP, playing the game in a different way to have a better resolution, that's all fun.
All right, so yeah, what I try to tell people is, especially for those guys who go 0-16 every year and their confidence is shot, like these dynamic drive goals can help you keep your confidence up a little bit for skilled players or particular players that are going on. So can you talk a little bit about the draft? How has the draft changed in Madden NFL 16?
So if you can imagine, with the new changes to scouting, we added a draft board. Now that's a loaded word, because when I say,
I was about to say, now hold on, now this is being taped. I don't want you to say anything you're not supposed to be saying.
It's okay. I'll say it.
All right.
I'm gonna do it. We added a draft board, and the reason it's a loaded word is when you say draft board, there's an expectation that I can set my draft board and then like walk away, and the AI will draft for me. So we did everything but that last bit where you can walk away. You still need to be at the draft. But what we did do is, if you go and you draft or you scout a bunch of players, and you can go watch them, and you can put the players on a watch list. Like, these are the guys I'm really interested in, I really want to focus on when the draft comes around, because at the end of the day, you're going to scout lots and lots of players throughout the year. And you're going to forget who you scouted. You're going to forget who you were really looking at.
Hold on. So you're telling me right here that there's a way that you can tag players that you scout, and they'll be separate from everybody that you scout?
Yes.
He said yes. He said yes. So there's a quote-unquote draft board, not the kind that you can walk away from and let the computer draft what you want. But how realistic are we away from that? Because now, you just put that out there, that there's a draft board. And the next question I have to ask is, when will we be able to walk away from this draft board and the computer go ahead and pick guys that we need?
I don't know. I would love to do that for you guys. I really would. I don't know when we're going to be able to get to it. That's definitely something we want to do. We hear the feedback. In fact, the reason we pushed really hard to get that draft board in, the watch list, was the last community event with you guys, where you guys made it very clear that it was a top priority. If we're going to redo scouting, and we had a draft board, like all the guys that you had scouted, but you couldn't separate the guys you really wanted from the guys that you knew were going to be a bust or you didn't want, then it wasn't a complete feature. That was feedback directly from that event. So we pushed really hard to get that in, and it's in.
Is there anything else you would like to share with us? Because I feel like, I got you here, on the camera, but I want to see how far you'll go. Anything else you want to share?
I feel like I probably shouldn't go any further. I know that there's a couple more. I know there's a couple more, but I love little surprises. I love for people to be happy. We use the term internally, surprise and delight.
Right.
It feels really good when you get something unexpected. That's why gifts are so fun.
Yes.
And as much as I would love to just say, here's all the things you're going to get, and you guys can get really excited about it, but then you'll just go right back to being upset that you didn't get like 7 other things that you wanted. But you gave us your itemized list. We tackled, I think, 5 or 6 of the top 10.
Yes.
So we got a lot of the really big, and also, I won't call them minor, but they were the things that we could safely do at this late stage of the project. So.
Real quick before I let you go, can you talk a little bit about progression? Because I think along with confidence, that was the other big issue with the community.
Yeah.
Wide receivers.
Regression.
Regression. I'm sorry, regression. Yeah, okay. Wide receivers going down to like 62 speed in 1 year.
Yeah, that's pretty realistic, so we kept it. Oh, so, no. So yeah, you know, we Lumen and Portman, they both spent a lot of time this year tuning regression and progression, the confidence settings, the draft classes. They helped us with tuning the scouting stuff. You know, they've spent all year focused on tuning, trying to make it better. They've taken great strides with regression and progression, and it's a whole lot better. It's probably still not perfect, but it's definitely in the right direction.
All right. Also, I know how important it was for you to revamp the way that people get into CFM. That was an important piece. Can you talk about that to, you know, some of the people out there that might not understand, like, why are you focusing on UI stuff and getting people in the game?
Well, so UI is one of the hardest things to deliver really high quality, really good usability experience. It's also the kind of the biggest stumbling block you can run into in a game like Madden, any sports game really that has lots and lots of screens that you're going to visit. They can be very confusing, they can be hard to find, they can be hard to get to, and it's very intimidating for people who aren't, like you guys are willing to fight through that pain and fight through the confusion and go to websites like CFM Movement or Operation Sports and really dig into all of the, like, I don't know how to do this, how do I do that? And then it becomes sort of a tribal knowledge thing, where the only way to find out how to do it is to ask the tribe. Well, that's not fun for somebody who doesn't know that there is a tribe to go and ask. You know, I always use this kid as an example. I've got a neighbor who's 14 years old. He found out I made Madden when he was a 12-year-old, and the questions have never stopped. And he did not understand what CFM was. He didn't even go in because he was like, I don't know what CFM is. When he tried to go in, when he tried to open the mode, and he's like, pick a role, and he's like, no, and he backed out, and he just went back to playing Play Now or head-to-head. And that's not, we want that guy in the universe. That guy is going to be the next you. That was me when I was a kid. I wanted to get in and be into a franchise, into a season really deeply and engage hard with Madden. And, you know, I played, my favorite football game when I was a kid was NFL Sports Talk Football.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I played the crap out of that my junior and senior year in high school. Yeah, so like those games, you know, I want that to get that emotion and that feeling out of everybody. And when a game is so hard to play and so unapproachable that you can't get that 12-year-old to enjoy it and come in, it's kind of not worth diving in deeper and making the feature better for you guys. We want to do that, and obviously we've done a whole lot of that stuff for you this year by adding all the depth and commissioner tools and all the things that we've added this year. But at the same time, we have to make sure that we're serving the other, you know, few million people that aren't so hardcore and that can't quite fight through the pain. So that's why it's so important. That's why we spend so much time on it.
All right, guys, this is Shot Master with Kolbe, live at E3 talking CFM. Make sure you check me out. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Check you guys out later. Peace.